how do we achieve a present heart during a dua? This is my last point. Very important point. Listen to me very carefully. لأن الدعاء, your heart needs to be present. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَسْتَجِيبُ مِنْ قَلْبٍ غَافِلٍ لَاهٍ. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam told us that you all better know that Allah does not answer the dua that is coming from a heart that is ghafil, heedless, lahin, distracted. What does this mean? It means in order for your heart to be present with a dua, you must keep away from two things: heedlessness and distraction. Now, what do these two things mean? If your dua is free of heedlessness and distraction, that means your heart is present as you're making a dua, and there is a high chance that this dua will be accepted and answered by Allah Azza wa Jal. So, how do we avoid being heedless? Listen very carefully. What does it mean? Do not be heedless and distracted when making dua. Heedlessness means when you do not recognize and acknowledge the greatness of Allah Azza wa Jal and the vastness, the greatness of His mercy and His forgiveness. So if you're making dua, oh Allah forgive me, but you're doubting in your heart, you're doubting, I doubt that's going to happen. How is Allah going to forgive me? Or if you're making dua and you don't recognize the greatness of Allah Azza wa Jal, you're in doubt. You're just saying, you know what, I'll try. I hear a lot of people speaking about how incredible a dua is, so let me just make dua. If you're doing that, meaning you are heedless, your heart is not present. As a result, that dua might not go through. You need to keep away from heedlessness. So when you're making dua, don't be heedless. That means when you make dua, you say, Allahumma ghfirli, and you acknowledge Allah is great. Allah's mercy is vast. It's huge. It encompasses all things. وَرَحْمَتِي وَسِعَتْ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. Allah Azza wa Jal says, my mercy has encompassed all things. And you're a human being, you're a thing, you're a shay. So Allah Azza wa Jal has encompassed you and enveloped you in His mercy as well. Now, when your heart, the way you bring your heart present in a dua is you need to acknowledge Allah's greatness when you make dua. When you do that, you're no longer heedless. Remember, you need to keep away from heedlessness for your dua, for your heart to be present. And the second thing you need to keep away from when making dua, in order for your heart to be present, is lahin, distraction. What does distraction mean in dua? Distraction means that you say something, you do not know what it means. If you have a dua book and you're just reading through it, وَاسْلُلْ سَخِيمَةَ قُلُوبِنَا, you don't even know what this means, then your heart is distracted when making dua. Therefore your heart is not present. So most likely it will not be answered. Wallahu a'lam. So in other words, to keep away from distraction when making dua, make dua that you understand and you know what you're asking Allah. If you don't know how to speak Arabic and make dua in the Arabic language, then make dua in your own language. Make a dua, my brothers and sisters in Islam, make a dua that you understand. Because when you're making dua, you understand. Now you are not being distracted in your dua, your heart is present. As a result, bi'idhnillah, this dua will be accepted. But this is very, very important for your heart to be present when making dua. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal in your own language. If you don't know how to make dua in Arabic, ask Him in your own language. And it's permissible even in salat, even in your sujood. And the ulama, rahimahumullah, they say, if you know how to make dua in Arabic, then you should only make dua in Arabic when in your salat, in your sujood. And if you don't know how to make dua in Arabic, then you can make it in your own language until you learn how to make dua in Arabic. For this is my brief, short message to you, my brothers and sisters in Islam.